this movie isn't that bad, right? Music? Alright, I just have to talk about one of the few movies out there that is very, that many people consider to be one of the worst of the franchise. And in this case, the first three trilogy, and yes, I am talking about Xmen Last Stand, and it's not that bad. It has some good qualities, and I'm saying some. Don't get me wrong, compared to Xmen 1 and 2, I do enjoy those more. 2 is my favorite out of the original trilogy, but Xmen 3 has its perks. Don't get me wrong, I do feel if you have that many characters in your movie, you should put a use to all of them in a good way. I just don't understand why my boy Cyclops just can't get any justice. You have him in the movie for maybe 30 minutes, then he dies, and what the hell? That's all there is to say about that. It made no damn sense. It was one of the dumbest things you could have done to a character, let alone Cyclops, let alone one of the original X-Men, let alone the first X-Men. It just makes no sense. But I guess they knew what they were doing, right? No. But aside from that, yes, that did happen. Cyclops died. Yes, Jean came back and was all Phoenix mode, acting like a goddess. We gotta take a stand and read everything up in there, looking at Eva Marie. But that scene where they went to Jean's house was the best scene in the entire movie. Yes, better than the whole fight between Magneto's Brotherhood and the X-Men for the X-Men they have all these kids in that school, right? In that mansion. And yes, I know, parents want to take the kids back and everything because after Charles Xavier died, but come on. That's a lot of kids, but you only see 6 X-Men against a whole army of the Brotherhood, which I still call bullcrap that they even won. They shouldn't even won that. But whatever. Granted, some characters were good. Some characters that were new were entertaining. Like the Dragonaut, I actually liked him. He actually had me well entertained, especially when he was chasing after Kitty Pryde, and he was running through the walls, and then she freaking sinked him into the ground, and he was like, "Don't you know who I am? I'm the Juggernaut, bitch." That was funny as hell. I remember laughing as a kid at that. It was just a funny thing. I didn't even expect to hear that. And basically, having Kitty that was there, it was good too to actually have an actual official actress as her. Yeah, you had her in first 2 movies, but it's always a different person playing as her. You don't even acknowledge that's even Kitty. You just don't. It's really whatever. It's like when they did with Jubilee. You don't acknowledge that as her. But be that as it may, they did good with Juggernaut, especially in the Jean Grey scene, which, the Jean Grey household, and that's the best scene mainly because you get the most emotions out of there. At the end, Wolverine kills Jean, you do feel something there, and you understand his pain when he has to kill the one person he loves in his life. But I don't know, that scene at Jean Grey's house was just more dramatic. The fact that Charles Xavier and Magneto, because they showed us in the beginning of the movie, those two came, they met Jean Grey as a child, and they're the reason why she joined X-Men and whatever. But seeing those two have to come again, and they go there to talk to Jean, but you see their 2 different ideologies clashing with one another right there at that moment. Charles trying to talk to her, Magneto's trying to persuade her to join his side and saying, "Oh, Charles is trying to use you like an asshole." That backfires completely. And the fact that Jean starts using her powers and lifting the house, and then you see Wolverine and Storm outside after the fight and everything, the fight was just, it was just a little funny / interesting because You got Storm freaking jumping in there, swoop, boom, 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 swooping in, and freaking got Porcupine dude over here. Freaking smacks him like a bitch, and she smacks that man dude like a bitch. And then she goes against Callisto, if memory serves me right. Callisto, those knocks her through the freaking house. It was like, what did she thought she was gonna do? And Wolverine, I really don't know what he was gonna do. Juggernaut tore him up. That whole fight was one-sided. Juggernaut freaking beamed him like a freaking football player, and then grabbed him. My favorite scene. They grabbed him, threw him up into the roof. Went right through the nest room, then kicked him outside the house. Oh, that was awesome. I love it. Like, Wolverine's one of my favorite characters, like, in Marvel. But dang, I was glad my boy got his butt whooped. I'm sorry. Also, back to what made it so dramatic was that the fact you see Charles trying to talk to Jean, he's trying to talk to a student that he trusted and that person that he was connected with. And he continues to try and talk to her, but it's not working because the Venus, air quote, the dark side of her, whatever they were going for, I don't know, that it was just stupid that they went for that side. Might as well just took it in space. It just would have made more sense. I would have went with that more. I think a lot of people would have, but be that as a man, because I digress. He died, basically being obliterated. They didn't even explain how he came back. I mean, yes, he did say in that same movie that it's possible to switch your mind or send your mind to another body, but still, like, can we get a little bit more information on that? You didn't even give us that in Days of Future Past, which it was just ridiculous. It just made no sense. It's just something that I feel like a lot of people forgot about and they just ignored, but it's just something I can't ignore. This is Professor Xavier we were talking about, the leader of the Xmen, the men that found everyone. You just can't kill off a character and then say, yeah, he transferred his body to somebody else. That's just stupid. I'm not saying it's dumb that he's able to do that. It's dumb that we're not getting any explanation on that. At the end, you just see, like, you say, Charles? Like, what the hell was that crap? Whatever. But also, back at the house, you see that even though Magneto and Charles Xavier are on two different sides, you see that Magneto was still in fear that his friend was going to die. Like, he was yelling. And seeing that scene again almost makes me teary-eyed because just imagining your person that you consider your best friend is about to die right in front of you, and all you could do is scream and, like, yell their name, and then they look. It was just beautiful. Whoever directed that whole scene did great. The rest of the movie, crap. But even, like, Wolverine was trying to get there with his claws. He was trying to crawl there, and then Charles looks at him, and then Wolverine's like, oh my god, it was poetic. It was just poetic. Screw Shakespeare. That was poetic. It was just, I loved it. And then Charles died, and that basically kind of just took a toll on everyone in the X-Men. You know, it made everybody have, like, second thoughts and, like, man, I don't think we could do this anymore. Like, what's the point of anything? But until Angel comes, which they barely use. Good God, another character that wasn't used to their potential was Angel. I don't even know what they were going for. First you see him in the beginning of the movie trying to get rid of the bird wings, which that must have been painful as hell. And then you see him get rid of his Xmen gene with the cure, but then he's like, nah, screw that crap, and busts out with his wings and jumps out the window. Now that was cool. That was actually cool. I was like, damn, good for you, man. Screw your dad. Like, everything about that was cool. And then you see him again saying, oh, I thought it was a place for X-Men. And Storm's like, yes, it is. And then you don't see him until, like, the fight. And then the fight, he just saves his dad and then keeps flying. Like, okay, bye. Like, the hell was all that crap? Help us fight these people. Like, don't get me wrong, they weren't really having much of a problem beating these people because Beast was just jumping all everywhere, like, boom, boom, boom. I was just baffled. I didn't even think Beast could do all that. I mean, that was like when I was a little kid. I ain't no Beast like that. But damn. And then like, even Wolverine, you know, he was killing a couple. I think he was actually killing people, like stabbing. God. One dude he was fighting, he just kept cutting his limbs, and that dude just like, come on, he kicked him in the nuts. And he like, grow those back. You're gonna have a long time growing them back. And I'm glad that they actually did with Iceman. I mean, even though they didn't use him to his potential as well, I'm glad they actually showed him going full Iceman, his full potential. and like it was good to see for the short amount of time it was there. I mean, it was very short, but it was a good moment to use it. I'll give them that. Other than that, whatever. But back to like the main plot of the movie, it wasn't entirely bad. It was good, if only this wasn't something that was based off the comics. Like as a movie, I can accept on this thing most of the things I've seen that were bad, but as something that is based off one of my not even one of my favorite comic book team ever. I'm sorry, I don't care. Like I like them more than Avengers. I like them way more than Justice League. But for that to be based off of them, I'm sorry. That's something I don't like. The comic book me doesn't like that. The movie me, I can appreciate what I've seen and what I was given, and I can accept. But you don't want to just accept. You want to be entertained and you want to love. That's one thing about certain movies like Inception or, a matter of fact, Man of Steel, that I just loved it. I don't accept it. I love what I was given because it was appreciative and I liked it and it respected what I wanted. And not only that, it was a good take on what they were going for. I just feel like Last Stand, I don't know what they were going for. I just don't know what they were going for. Like, honestly, that's all there is to it. I just don't know what they were going for. Honestly, because I get that they wanted to have a Phoenix. Bryan Singer even wanted to do it, but he didn't really work on this one, so they just took it into their own hands, which was a bad idea. And he also wants to make another take on doing the whole Phoenix trilogy by taking them into space, but he said he's gonna take a step back from the Xmen franchise for a while. So who knows? We're not gonna get any Xmen movies for a long time from now, maybe a couple years. Deadpool, yeah, you could say that's Xmen related. You could, but Xmen. And yes, they have the New Mutants they want to make, so we don't know when that's coming out. We haven't even heard casting calls about that. Shoot, I want to go for Sunspot if you tell me. But I just don't know. It's not that bad of a movie, guys. It's not. As a movie, you can somewhat see the qualities, but as I see it over and over, it feels shorter and shorter. Yes, there are plot holes. There are just some things that are just ridiculous. Magneto, me and all these mutants, and they just want, oh yeah, we'll join you and everything. Yeah, okay, but it's just, I just not understanding how everything could have transpired and how Jean really could have been so powerful with this whole Phoenix thing. Whatever it was, because, face it, that chick was going all dark arts on us or something. That was not Phoenix. Like, I don't even know what that was. Like, that made no sense to me. Yeah, in the second movie, they were kind of like, yeah, something's wrong with Jean, something's bothering her, or she just, something's off, basically. And at the end, you see like the fire and everything with the Phoenix, but you don't even see that in the third movie. You see black eyes and dead skin. That's all you see, her doing like this and then destroying a bunch of stuff, people evaporating. What the hell was that compared to the second one at the end when her going on fire? That's how you know Bryan Singer was not the person that was at fault for this. That he wasn't working on it and they're like, well, we're just going to do it. You know, I don't care how it goes, but they're going to do it. Like, I'm not saying it's like Dragon Ball Evolution, but damn. Can you give me somebody that really cares, please? Jesus Christ. Overall, as a movie, I would give this a C+. That's honestly the best I could give it. I mean, there's just not much else I could really give about this movie like that. Like, there's not enough good, there's too much bad, and it's a saddening thing to see, because out of the 3 trilogies, that's one of the worst ones. Out of X-Men movies as a whole, the Wolverine X-Men Origins sucked. Those are the worst X-Men movies ever. Just overall, those were the worst. And, like, X-Men First Class was good, then Days of Future Past was great. Bryan Singer did a great job on eliminating all the other stuff that were the errors. And then Apocalypse, I genuinely like that. And I'll talk about that later when I get the chance. But X-Men Last Stand is not that bad, but X-Men Last Stand is not that bad, but it's better than Batman and Robin, what we got before. That's all I can say. And I'm signing out. Jesus Christ. Like if you dare, subscribe if you care.
I'm like a star, I'm burning out fast. I try to shine, but it's never gonna last.